Well, this piece is a millstone hand sculpted out of granite from China, about 300 years old. And so I bought it because one this size is pretty rare to find. Most times they're this size, and if they get much bigger, they're really heavy and hard to handle and deal with. But I thought this one was the perfect size. I bought it, and then kind of judged the proportion of it. And we had this stump already. This is a stump salvaged out of the Mississippi River system. And I thought, well, that's going to be about the right size. We built this steel base that the stump is attached to, and then the millstone had this big hole in the top of it, and so we hand sculpted the top of this stump so that it would slip down evenly and sit level in relation to the top of the millstone. Things like this totally depend on form and proportion. And I mean, that's the secret of creating something out of these kind of elements that wind up being desirable. That form and proportion have to be right. And you really can't judge it as long as it's sitting on that palette. And so our designers matched this coloration with this Kadir Boli painting that I think looks great. It's done in acrylic. He actually came to our studio and did this painting. It's done in acrylic. A lot of his work's done in natural pigments that he mines in Africa. Here the trick is how do you make 25 cow horns tips touch the floor at the same time at the right height? How do you do that? And attach them in such a way to where they're not ever going to fail. They're embedded into this tray of steel, and they're arranged upside down. And there's a plate that sits above them, so each tip touches that plate. And that way, and then they're set, they're attached mechanically. Then they're poured an inch deep in epoxy. And so that, after you attach them with the bolt, then that epoxy really gives them a solid, embedded quality to them. And then of course 25 of them touching the floor will support this table. The top of this table is done in a sinker cypress. It's the cypress salvaged off the bottom of the river, and it's put together in 4 pieces, I think. There'll be biscuit joints, and you can see the natural edge of this slab and the parasites, the aquatic parasites that ate into the side of it. It's a really special piece of furniture.